Good morning, everyone. Welcome to UK Weekly Dhamma podcast, the podcast for everyone who wants to know Buddhism more and more. And today, see me again. I am Venerable Phra Karucha Pabhākaro. People call me Monk Kom or Luang Kom. Yeah. I have become a Theravada Buddhist monk since 2014. And today's topic is quite advanced but interesting. Today's topics are about the Buddha. I will separate in three parts. Should we trust the Buddha, the man who left his family, who are Buddhas, and can we meet one of Buddhas in this lifetime? Now let's begin with the first topic. Should we trust the Buddha, the man who left his family? Actually, there are many ways to answer this question, but it's still sensitive and difficult to make everyone understand why he did that. Many people can't accept his decision about leaving his family. Even many Buddhist people who practice following Buddha's teaching for a long time, sometimes they don't understand why he did this. By the way, I see that this world situation, is the best time to talk about this topic, so I should to talk today. My teacher taught me that to understand someone, sometimes we need to imagine that we are part of that story. We are in that story. Firstly, let's repeat a brief story of the Buddha, mainly focus on his personality and his family. He was son of the king in one kingdom. His nature showed that he could become a great emperor or a religious founder, and he was very smart. He took only short time to learn and understand everything. And he was very kind. Everyone loved him. However, the king blocked him all the way not to make him thought of spiritual matters. So he never knew about age, pain, or death. One day he found the truth about age, pain, death, and death. So he could see that everyone was suffering. Now everyone was suffering, everyone was dying. And no one knew how to free from suffering. And actually he loved his family so very much. He loved everyone. And his life was full of love since he was born. But he could see that life was uncertain. Life is uncertain. If he or one of his family died tomorrow, it would be sad for who were alive. So he thought that he couldn't wait to find a way to free from suffering anymore, because everyone was dying all the time. He needed to leave his family because the way he went would be very dangerous, especially for his son who just born. And he couldn't tell people around him much before leaving, because there were many people who worked for his father that might stop him. Then he left the family, and the time passed. He discovered cause of suffering and found a way to conquer it. Then finally he helped other people and his family free from suffering. And this is the brief story of the Buddha. This story may sound nonsense for some people, or maybe many people, because we don't know about India in that time. We don't know about how royal family lived, especially in India. And we don't know how can someone hide the truth of life. How someone can hide that people all die pain by something. So today I want you to imagine what if Buddha life happened in this century, if his life happened now. I can see from the story that I just told you, I can see many people nowadays may decide like the Buddha. I can see many now we can see many people, they need to live far from their families because they are working to help people from something that make people die. Yeah, they are working to help people from the virus now. And we don't know that their family agree with them or not. They don't know what will happen in their lives. They don't know whether they still can come back alive to live with their family or not. But they know that everyone is dying and many people are suffering from that virus. That's why they chose to risk their life to help people. And people who are selfless like this, I can say that they have one of the Buddha nature is to help people. However, many people may not want me to compare these people with the Buddha because the thing that Buddha want to conquer is that age, pain, death are normal of life. These people who fight for virus, they fight for something abnormal to become normal again. But let me take you back before this COVID spread widely. I think you can remember there were many people who believed that we could just make this virus became part of our lives. Then finally we would beat them. And now many people changed their minds, but there are still many people who still think that we can live with the virus. It means something abnormal can become normal. That is what the Buddha says, that our life, that we need to die. We have some suffering from pain or age. It's not normal, and it shouldn't be normal. So he wants to solve this. And the cause of the current outbreak is the virus COVID-19. And cause of suffering that Buddha want to defeat, want to beat it. He found the cause that he found are desires and passions such as greed, anger, and lust, which destroy people more than all disease in the world. But only few people who care of killing them. Because many people, they accept that pain, age, and death are normal thing of life. That's why it's difficult for many people to understand the Buddha's decision. And I'm not sure I told you a lot and you understand me or not, I'm not sure. If you understand me, I will go to the next thing. You may want to know more about the Buddha who are Buddhas. Are you who are Buddhas? The Buddha that we know actually is called the Lord Gautama Buddha. Gautama is like the name of his clan. Oh, sorry. And to know Buddha, to know what are Buddhas, firstly we need to understand meanings of the word Buddha. The Buddhist scripture have given many things, many meaning to the word Buddha, but I will present some of them today. Buddha means one who has attained enlightenment, one who is awake, and one who is joyful. Buddhas mean one who has attained enlightenment, one who penetrates the Four Noble Truths. And the commentaries divide all Buddhas into three categories. The first category is the Samma Sambuddha, or that we know the Lord Buddha. He attains self-enlightenment and teaches his enlightened knowledge to other beings. And the Lord Gautama Buddha is in this group. And the second category is the Pacceka Buddha, or sometimes called the Silent Buddha. He attains self-enlightenment but does not teach his enlightened knowledge to other beings. And the last category is the Anubuddha, or the Lord Buddha, the Lord Buddha's perfect disciples. They attain enlightenment by following the Buddha's teaching. And the overall meaning of the word Buddha is the one who knows, the one who is awake, and the one who experience inner joy. And this means actually everyone can choose to be one of these three categories. And of course, it's far more difficult to be the second or the first categories. It's similar to studying the first degree, a master degree, or PhD. The higher degree is far more difficult. People who want to become the Samma Sambuddha need to solve uncountable difficult problems in many lifetimes until they have enough properties to be the great one. Then they can be the Lord Buddha in last lifetime. And most of the second category are people who try of other people. So they just want to be the great one and be a good role model for other people without teaching. You may know some of forest monks who just want to live in the forest or in the mountain because they don't want to be with many people. It's the same style with Pacceka Buddha. And the last category has mixed style. All are people who want to free from suffering, then practice their minds until achieving it. And can be, if I don't know you want to be some of them or not, but if you want to meet some of them, I will give you some information today. Regarding the third category of the Buddhas, we may able to meet that type because they are just someone who practice following the Buddha and attain enlightenment. Moreover, before the Buddha passed away, there was a last disciple coming to ask about enlightened persons. And this is part of the answer from the Lord Buddha. I will talk only some of it because it have many words that may be difficult to understand. Yeah. The Buddha answered that about the enlightened person that any Dhamma Vinaya or any religion which teach about the Noble Eightfold Path, in that religion there are enlightened person. Since my religion teach about the Noble Eightfold Path, therefore it has an enlightened person in my religion. If all the Buddhist monks continue to practice according to the Noble Eightfold Path, this world will not be without an enlightened person. Can you capture all my words? I can conclude that as long as there are people who practice the Noble Eightfold Path, this world will not be without an enlightened person. And nowadays, we still have teaching about the Noble Eightfold Path, and many people practice following this. So it means there should be some of them alive nowadays, and maybe we can meet them. However, it's still hard to say how to meet them. It's like a question. It's like you ask me who are enlightened person. Can I meet them? And normally, an enlightened person will know by themselves that they attain enlightenment now. But even in the Buddha time, there were a lot of people who misunderstood that they were enlightened. This means we can't trust someone who just told that they have already been enlightened. That's why monks in the Buddha time, they would accept an enlightened person only when the Buddha confirmed it. And to check who is enlightened, at least we need a person with a pure mind at that enlightened level. So nowadays it's nearly impossible to know whether who attains enlightenment. I told this or not to make you give up to find the enlightened one, or not to make you judge Buddhist monks or other people that they are not good enough to teach you, because some of them may be enlightened and they may just not want to aggregate that to show off themselves. Moreover, enlightenment is something that happens individually. Learning from normal monks or someone is still good for you because they may have more experience and know a lot of Dhamma to guide you. And there were many monks in the past who were enlightened before their teachers by just following their teacher. However, fortunately, the Buddha gave us some clues to see the Buddha. And now I will give you some clues if you want to see the Buddha in this lifetime. According to the story of a monk named Vakali, this monk originally he ordained because he wanted to free from suffering. So he ordained as a Buddhist monk in the Buddha lifetime. But once he ordained, he felt fascinated with the appearance of the Lord Buddha. And in one day he tried many times, just want to see the Buddha, just want to see how he teach, how he walk, how he meditate. He want to see the Buddha all the time. And the Buddha did nothing with him until one day he got sick. And the Buddha met him and asked the sick monk Vakali, "Are you feeling better, Vakali? Are you bearing up? Are your pains getting better or not worse? Are there signs that they are getting better or not worse?" And he answered, "No, Lord, I do not feel better. I'm not bearing up. I have severe pains and they are getting worse, not better. There is no sign of improvement, only of worsening. Had you any doubts, Vakali? Have you any cause of regret?" And he answered, "Lord, I have many doubts. I have much cause for regret." And the Buddha asked, have you nothing to condemn yourself about as regards small loss?" And he answered, "No, Lord, I have nothing to condemn myself about as regards small loss." Then the Buddha said, "Well then, Vakali, if you have nothing to condemn yourself as regards small loss, you must have some worry or scruple that is troubling you." And he told everything. "For a long time, Lord, I have wanted to come and set eyes on the Blessed One," meaning the Buddha, "but had not the strength in this body to come and see the Blessed One." Then the Buddha told him, "Enough, Vakali. What is there to see in this vile body? One who sees Dhamma, Vakali, sees me. One who sees me sees Dhamma. Truly seeing Dhamma, one sees me. Seeing me, one sees Dhamma." If you can't capture all, I show you on the screen. It means this story shows that one of the best ways to see the Buddha or to know the Buddha is seeing Dhamma, the best way to see the Buddha is seeing Dhamma, which everyone can see. Everyone can see it by only close your eyes, practice your mind, then one day you will see Dhamma and see the Buddha inside yourself. And actually there are many teaching, there are many evidence about this story. There are many Buddhist statues that show that there are some mini Buddha inside around the stomach of that statue. And there are many people who meditate until they feel like they see some people sit inside them in their mind. It's interesting, but you just have to prove it by yourself. I can't tell you all detail how it will happen. You just need to close your eyes, and one day you can prove by yourself. Yeah. This is all about story of the Buddha is quite advanced compared with the last week. And next week, I will talk about how to learn Dhamma. It will be a more practical thing. It will be easy to understand. We will come back to normal again. Yeah. And if you have any questions or want me to explain something more or want to request any topics, please comment below. And have a good week and see you next podcast.
Ehipasiko, hame see you know the teaching of peace, the teaching of love, the teachings of the Buddha is for all who want to be free forevermore.
Ehipasiko, come and see you know the teaching of peace, the teaching of love, the teachings of the Buddha is for all who want to be free forevermore.
But don't just believe, investigate. Do not simply accept what you hear or see, not even if it's altered by me.
So don't just agree, you've got to verify.
When you know that it's good and it's placed by the right, then live up to it the rest of your life.